Hey everybody, Corey back with the Dental Dudes, and just wanted to give my Wednesday update. As a lot of you know, yesterday the GDA came out with a response to kind of what's going on, and they somewhat followed suit of the ADA, however, a little more vague. So right now, everybody's leaving it up to the individual dentist in your own office. Do what you feel is best for you and your family and your patients and your staff and team members. So there's no real right or wrong answer here, but you've got to do what's best for you. What this video is going to be about is going to be on if you do decide to shut down, you want to make sure you're following some certain protocols. So that way, when you do come back in 2, maybe 3 weeks, what are you going to be expecting? And so that way you can hit the ground running. So stay tuned. I'm going to put up some things that you just want to be aware of. So that way there's no surprises when you come back. One other thing you want to make sure you're doing, which you're probably already doing on a daily basis, is turning off all your air and water, as well as nitrous. So if you're running that through the rooms, turn all that off. So you just don't want that running for 2, possibly 3 weeks. And another thing you want to make sure that you do is purge all of your lines, replace or take off any water bottles off your chairs and units and clean those out, set those to the side so those can dry out. And just by nature, you're going to have a little bit of water that gathers in the tubes. So I would highly recommend you consider doing a shock to your lines when you come back in. And so that way that just helps get anything that's built up over a time period out of those lines. This would also include drain your autoclaves and your ultrasonic. Another thing you want to consider doing is taking out or going ahead and replacing all of your traps at chair side, as well as in your vacuum. So that way it's not just sitting there and just festering for however long you're going to be out. One other thing is you might want to consider unplugging or at least powering down any non-essential technology. So that way you never know what's going to happen while you're out, a thunderstorm or anything like that. You don't want it to come through and hit your lines. So just consider at least powering down and having a good surge protector, or if it's not that essential to your use remotely, go ahead and unplug it. Make sure before you leave and shut down that you go ahead and clean out those vacuum lines. Use a good high-powered vacuum line cleaner. Obviously, we have them, but at least make sure you're using something to clean out those lines before you leave. And lastly, I've got a lot of offices that are shutting down for a couple of weeks, at least till the end of March. So what they're doing is they're taking this time to go into the office at least for an hour or so a day and organize everything. Organize those SDS sheets that have been sitting around in a folder saying we'll get to them later. Consider auto SDS if you're looking for something to help simplify the process, but also take a look at your systems, your checks and balances, and see, is there anything you can implement during this time to be productive? Because again, my job is to make sure that you're functioning at as normal once you get back into the swing of things. So I'm here if you need me. Steve's here if we need him as well. So just make sure you utilize us during this time, and we're here for you any way we can. If there's information you want to see that you've been putting off and you've got time now, let me know, and we'll be happy to get that out to you. And then again, the goal is to keep everybody safe during this time, but also we want to make sure that you're running smoothly once you come back in.